Captain Meenu Wadia. Captain Meenu Wadia, what are you making of this press conference? Are there some facts that have come to the fore, the WhatsApp chats, for instance, which have raised questions about the pilot's past? They need not be connected to this particular incident. But yes, when it talks about visibility, the change of runway, the fact that there's no response coming in from Captain Sumit, are these all fair questions, given what we've seen in terms of the tragedy at Baramati?
Certainly, they are fair questions, and many more questions are fair also. And I'm going to focus purely on the prevention of accidents in this country and not on any politics, whether Praful Patel or someone was involved. I have no statement to make on those fronts. As far as I have a far bigger question, and I'll answer your questions also. Why is India not having an independent safety board in spite of the fact that we have insisted, informed the Prime Minister and all agencies concerned since the last 50 years to have an independent safety board? Why is the DGCA shying away? In fact, I would categorically prove by evidence that they're preventing an independent safety board from happening in our country. Now, all the questions that you have asked about specifics of the transponder being off, etc., can be easily gauged from the DFDR. And also the transponder, when you insinuate it was put off, there is no logical reason because, first of all, Baramati does not have any radar surveillance transponders, which makes no sense at all. Now, if you want answers to any of those questions, all this can be answered easily by interpreting the DFDR.
But the question is that even the investigations of 2023 are still pending, which is what is leading many to ask those questions. Why, if 2.5 years is the time it takes for the previous crash, then God only knows what will happen in this particular crash, despite the high-profile nature of it. And let Dr. Sushilan answer that question. Dr. Sushil, once again, we come to the same point. Of course, we all need to be patient. There will be a formal inquiry. All of that is fine. But if inquiries themselves are going to drag on like this, and what a statement that was put out by the AIB, that we are in the final phases. The ICAO regulations are very clear. This has to happen within a year. Because beyond that, it's just too late. Who knows what other technical problem that may be in those aircraft, for all you know.
Madhav, you have to understand from 23, which you are saying the AIB report is not published for a 1 year time, 2024. We don't had any of the AIB DG on the charge. The DG of AIB came charge few months back. If I'll tell
Whose fault is that,
6 months back, the new
Whose
DG
fault is that?
Charge, and the investigation is under process.
Who has to take onus for that? Captain Susilan, please tell me who has to take onus for that. Because at the end of the day,
our Honorable Minister had
no, sir, my simple point is this. The tax-paying public of this country expect a safety and a regulatory environment that functions. Not important bodies like AIB being left headless and unmanned. That's the least we expect our government to do.
Madhav, we have to understand the AIB is an investigation bureau. They are not a person concerned for the safety. The safety is taken care by DGCA. The DGCA are giving a regulatory things, and when it comes to the B8 test, whatever the conference done by Rohit Pawar, it is definitely a baseless thing right now. Why? Because we know the B8 is already done before the flight. And while doing the BA was not positive. That's the only reason Captain Sumit had flown. They had taken the flight. So blaming a captain without any genuine report, I don't think it's valid. And the DG AIB is doing an investigation, and I'm pretty sure we will get the entire report shortly.
Captain Wadia wants to respond to you. Captain Wadia, you buy that argument?
No, I don't buy that at all. First of all, the DGCA has always a vested interest in all the accidents that have taken place in this country so far. I can point fingers at the DGCA and the airport authority. You name me one incident where the DGCA has been found responsible for any of the crashes. And DGCA has actually prevented an independent safety board from happening to start with. So the answer is not that the DGCA is going to do the inquiry. It has to be done by an independent safety board, which has to be set up in our country first and foremost.
Okay.
And if you give me just 10 minutes with the Prime Minister, I can convince him that you have to have an independent safety
All right,
board.
so we'll have to leave it there for the moment. Captain Meenu Wadia, Dr. Sumit Sushilan, Brijmohan Srivastav, Sakshna Salgar. Is this all about politics? Is this about positioning? Or are there some genuine safety questions that arise from this particular press conference as far as a tragic crash in Baramati in which former Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Ajit Pawar, has lost his life? We'll have to leave it there. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us.